Hi, video 24. The last we left off, we were talking about Garden of Eden. What is the Garden of Eden? Maybe what does it mean? Where is it? Like I said, they've been searching for it like it's an actual place when it's all around us. Garden of Eden is Earth. And we're going to get into the idea of heaven and hell also. Because again, that was used as something of control. Like, throw the dog a bone, you'll go to heaven. It's a beautiful place. You'll see all your dead relatives and stuff like that. I again, is it possible? Yes. There's always a slight chance. Is it feasible? No. It's not feasible to me. People believe what they want. It makes them feel better. It comforts them. But when you realize you don't need nothing, you don't need you. Everyone's searching for something that they don't need to search for. Everything is inside of you. Everything you need is inside of you. You don't need someone to complete you. You don't need anything to complete you, make you better, nothing like that. You are already complete. The search is a wasted search that you'll waste your whole life on. Finding the right one, finding uh, anything. Anything that you search for is already inside of you. You don't need that. You don't need to be complete. You already are complete. It's the ego, the id, that's not complete, that will never be complete. And it searches for these things, but not knowing that it'll never really be complete. It just searches and searches and searches. We're going to get into more of that. But anyway, the thing we were going to say about was the Garden of Eden. Again, it's right here. This is the Garden of Eden, and when you, or I should say, is the experience that I had is that I saw that. I saw that glorious moment. It was immense, and it lasted for quite a while, and then slowly, again, I had to back out of it because people think you're crazy. You're so happy. You're walking around with a smile on your face all the time. And people that walk around with smiles on their faces, people think you're crazy. Was he so happy about? Most people are not happy. When you look at them, they're not happy people. I mean, I used to just stand and stare on a busy corner. Most people that you saw were not happy. They didn't look happy. Like somebody that walks around with pleasant and smiling. We're not used to that, especially in New York. We're not used to that. First time I went to Florida, people were waving to me. I didn't even know them. They were a lot happier. But I didn't even, not that they didn't have any ego, but they were just friendlier. And I was like, I don't even know these people. What are they waving? I wasn't sure. It was, funny, but this is the issue that we have as a human race. But again, these it's a thing that 95% of the people have throughout the world in one form or another. So again, I say the Garden of Eden is right here. We've just built over it. It's here. And that utopia that I spoke of in previous videos would be that garden, let's just say, of Eden, or the Garden of Eden is basically a state of mind of wherever you might be, even if we paved it all over, but it was a different mindset. We could have flying cars and all of that stuff, but if we all worked together as a team and didn't have all those, competitions and stuff like that, where we're trying to beat the next guy, even like baseball games, football games, where you're trying to beat the other guy. All right, it's a game, but some people are very emotional. That's why I don't watch sports, because some people fight over it. They yell and they call each other names. like that football player, baseball player, they they don't care. They don't care if you paid your rent, but you seem to care if he makes $2 million, $20 million, $100 million. If he's good, if he's not, he's terrible. Throw him. You know, we do a lot of stuff to waste time instead of doing something more productive per se. But okay, let's get off that. But when we stick to the Garden of Eden, yes. Do I believe it's here and now? Yeah. And do I believe it's in the here and now? In the here and now is where you'll find peace. You'll find that peace that you're looking for when you stop thinking about tomorrow and yesterday and the guy up the block and the girl down the block and what happened to you today and how miserable your day was at work or whatever happened. It is what it is. So when you start to learn, it is what it is. You're not going to hold so much stuff in you. And that bag, that negative energy that stays in you, that festers in you, like gossip. Gossip is something that is done so that you take away the spotlight from you and put it on somebody else. I mean, Socrates with the three C's. Do you know it to be true? Before you tell me anything about anybody, do you know it to be true? Is it a good thing, and is it going to help anybody? If you can't answer that with any yeses, don't tell me. I don't need to know. You know. But people love gossip, misery, ego, because ego loves to be miserable too. Loves company. So if I'm miserable and I can make you miserable, or you're miserable too, let's hang out together because we have a lot that we could commiserate about. And that is, a lot of people that you might know. But anyway, as far as like the Garden of Eden, this is part of my take on it as far as where it is. It was never anywhere in particular. It was meant as a metaphor to teach us a little bit more about mind. And we'll get into how it made you know what God knew. We're going to get into that later on in another video because this one here is almost at 8 minutes already. So I think we could start touching on let's touch on, I guess, love. Should we touch on love, or should we keep going on the Garden of Eden? No, let's jump into something else. Let's do love on the next one, and then we could always go back to Garden of Eden and all of that stuff, and how that idea of that when you eat from the apple, you'll know what God knows. That's a very interesting thing. It has a lot to do with my beliefs also. So it's kind of funny that it all plays in. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Okay, so the next one will be love, and then we'll continue Garden of Eden and knowledge of God. Because there's a lot of things, And you're not going to hear too much out of me, just so that we know, and I say it now, you're not going to hear that much about Enoch, Anukis, reptile people, all that stuff. Again, is it real? I don't know. Does it matter? No. Reptile people, Anunnakis, Nephilims, whatever you want to call them, giants. Does it matter if they lived or not? No. It has no effect on me right now. None. It has no effect on you either. None.